In this village in Africa, nearly everyone is born blind, and it's believed this happened by the will of God. He would give birth to a child more virtuous than any before, but the child would be born blind. And from that moment on, every descendant in her bloodline would be born blind as well. Can you imagine? They herd livestock, cook meals, and believe it or not, many of them have memorized the entire Quran while living in complete darkness. Some say it's divine punishment, others say it's just a cruel twist of fate. But where's the real truth? What does science say? How do people born into darkness live their lives? How do they see the world? We're about to explore it all in today's video. But before we begin, if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. In the West African country of Mauritania, most of the land is swallowed by the vast Sahara Desert. Roughly 1,000 kilometers away from the capital city, Nouakchott, lies a remote village named Dale Coumbe. This village is often referred to as the village of the blind. The first mention of this village dates back over a century ago, and that's when the strange story began. A story claiming that most of the people here are born completely blind. But is there a scientific explanation behind this? Or is it simply a matter of faith? The residents of Dale Coumbe believe that their blindness is not a curse, but rather a form of a spiritual test. This is a small village. Just a few families live here. They have no real profession except for tending a few livestock. To be honest, they survive mostly with the help of people from neighboring villages. Meet Muhammad Mukhtar, the current leader of the village. Honestly, it's by the will of God. This began around 7 or 8 generations ago. It all started with a pregnant woman. One night while she was sleeping, a man appeared in her dream. She didn't recognize him. The man said, "Do not be afraid. You will soon give birth to the most pious child. But the child will be blind. And from that moment forward, all of the child's descendants will be born blind. And I thank Allah that we are among those descendants. Even my father was blind. His name was Sheikh Muhammad Mahmoud." Here is what's truly mind-blowing. The villagers can detect clean water from dirty water just by smell. They can even sense the presence of water nearby without ever seeing it. In this village, 1 out of every 2 people is blind, meaning if a blind couple has 2 children, at least one of them is born blind. This only happens when either one or both parents are blind. So, that raises a critical question. Could this be some form of genetic disorder? Why does this happen? The answer lies deep within the most intricate and delicate part of the human body, our genes. This condition is known as congenital blindness, which means the child is born without the ability to see, and the main cause, a genetic mutation. Each human body is made up of millions of cells. Inside every cell there is DNA. And within that DNA are thousands of genes that control how we grow, develop, and function. If even a tiny part of this genetic code is altered, what scientists call a mutation, it can cause certain parts of the body to stop working properly. And when this mutation affects the eyes, it can result in the blindness from birth. Take a common example, liver congenital amaurosis. In this condition, the light-sensitive cells in the retina don't function, so even though a newborn opens their eyes, they see absolutely nothing. Parents may notice their child doesn't respond to light or never makes eye contact. Another example is retinitis pigmentosa, a disorder where the retina gradually deteriorates over time. It starts with night blindness, followed by the slow fading of peripheral vision. Even the faintest trace of light disappears. There's also optic nerve hypoplasia, where the nerve that connects the eye to the brain never fully develops. Even if the eyes appear normal, they can't send signals to the brain. It's like having a camera with no connection to a screen. No image ever appears. Then there are rare genetic disorders like achromatopsia, where people see only in black and white, no color at all. Nori disease, where the retina is malformed from birth. All of these result from genetic errors. And when marriages occur between blood relatives, there's a higher chance both parents carry the same genetic defect, which makes it far more likely to be passed down to their children. Experts believe that generations of intermarriage within the community have caused a specific mutation to be passed down repeatedly, becoming the likely cause behind the widespread congenital blindness in the village. But that leads us to a much deeper question. Is there really no cure? Is there no help for their painful lives? Our village is completely cut off from modern life. Even in this 21st century, an age of innovation and technology, nothing has changed here. To make our daily lives easier, we desperately need support, things like clean water and medical care. Honestly, I believe nowhere else in the world do blind people suffer as much as we do.
We live the way we do by the will of Allah, and we are content. We are happy because we are not poor in the traditional sense, but we are ignored by the government. We struggle every day just to figure out basic needs: what to eat, what to wear, and how to get it. We have no access to education, and these are the things that make our lives difficult.
The nearest village to Dale Coumbe is 80 kilometers away, surrounded by the harsh and unforgiving Sahara Desert. And yet, even in the face of blindness and isolation, the people here dedicate most of their lives to studying the Quran. One woman who is also completely blind still cooks for her family using only her sense of touch. She lights the fire and adds the ingredients to the pot. We get our food from the nearest town. Supplies are first brought to a small local shop near the edge of our area, and then the villagers buy what they need from there. But truthfully, we survive only by the grace of Allah. We depend heavily on charity and donations. One man can even use a smartphone just by relying on his sense of touch. As for meals, they mostly make flatbread using a large traditional outdoor oven. Their favorite dish is mutton stew, locally known as toxin soup, which they enjoy most when served with freshly made bread. They were asked, if your vision were restored, what would you want to see first? And their answers were life-changing. If I could see, I would want to look at my home from afar as I return from a long journey. And I would love to see the beauty of autumn. I would want to see the letters of the Quran and learn to write them myself.
Just like him, I want to read the Quran with my eyes.
If I ever gain sight, I want to drive a car just once. They deeply believe this blindness is a test from Allah. They believe it's their trial, and through this trial, God will reward them with paradise in the afterlife. They do not accept scientific explanations because in their eyes, this is divine will, and sometimes faith wins over science. What do you think? Is this a divine test or just a genetic condition? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Those of us who can see, how often do we complain about life? And yet here are people with so little, still living with so much gratitude. We don't know how much this video may have changed your perspective on life, but our goal is to tell the untold stories of people, tribes, and communities from the furthest corners of the world. If you would like to join us on this journey, make sure to subscribe to our channel, The World Mirror.